right, good morning class. Today's May the 4th, Monday. Welcome to Algebra 3. We are going to be in section 2.6, which is titled Combinations of Functions. Today we're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions. The next lesson will be composites. This is the last lesson for Ethan, Dylan, Ben, and Bo. So congrats guys, this homework is due Tuesday night, and as far as Algebra 3 is concerned, you will be through with all your homework. So I hope that you are caught up and content with your grades. Alright, the proverb for today is found in the 9th chapter, the 2nd verse, and we're talking about wisdom still. Wisdom's prepared her meat and mixed her wine, she has set her table, meaning wisdom is available to you. You just have to be interested in receiving wisdom. All right? And we all know where we can find wisdom, which is in God's Word. I've chosen a couple of even problems. This is problem number 6. You're given two functions, f of x and g of x. Okay? F of x, they're both linear. This is 2x minus 5, and g of x is 2 minus x. In the first scenario, you're asked to sum the two functions. So I'm trying to put the operation that you're doing here in red. As you go through, the addition really doesn't matter, and so the parentheses drop. We're combining the x terms, or the linear terms, and then the constants. So your answer is going to be x minus 3. In the next combination, you're asked to subtract. I don't know if you guys can see that well or not, so I'm going to scoot our camera down a little bit. All right, you're asked to subtract, and it will be important that when you're asked to subtract two different functions, I would put a subtraction sign in. I would incorporate parentheses so that as you distribute that negative sign, the constant was positive, it becomes negative. The linear term was negative, and it becomes positive because a negative is positive. So that's why it's really important to put parentheses in when you're subtracting functions. Went through and combined the linear terms, the constants, and got 3x minus 7. All right, the next two you're asked to multiply and divide. The same two functions, f and g of x. So when the two are written next to each other without anything going on in between, it's understood multiplication. All right. So FOILed the two binomials. You get 4 terms. Combined the like or similar terms, which are the linears, the 4x and 5x make a total of 9x. I put it in descending order, starting with the quadratic term, the linear term, and the constant. Please, 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 on the division, do not overthink it. Okay? It's easy to do. On the division, you write the numerator, you write the denominator, and you say, is there anything that's going to cancel out? And the only thing that will cancel are factors. These 2's are not factors because it is bound with subtraction. These x's are not factors because they are also bound with some type of subtraction. So you may not cancel the 2's, you may not cancel the x's. As it is written, 2x minus 5 over the quantity 2 minus x, that is your answer. All right? Now you are asked for the domain of the quotient of the two functions, and this function exists everywhere except at 2, because 2 minus 2 is 0, and you can't divide by 0. So there will be a vertical asymptote at the value x equals 2. All right, one more. Same principle instructions, all right? The only thing new in number 14 and those below, 13 and below, is they give you a value to plug in for x. So I wrote the functions out. Remember, if you're asked to subtract, put the second one in parentheses. And everywhere there was an x, normally this says f minus g of x. But they've given you a value of x. They've given you -1. So everywhere there is an x, you plug in -1. Everywhere there is an x, you plug in -1. Then you do your order of operations to simplify, okay, these binomials. -1 times -1 is +1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then we're going to subtract from it a -1 minus 4 more, which is -5. Subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding 5, and 2 plus 5 is 7. So these are add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, seniors, congratulations on getting out of this class and out of school. Blessings.